What if I told you that Apple has perfected the art of making not only incredible products, but also an ecosystem often referred to as the walled garden that is almost impossible to escape? It's not just about owning an iPhone or a MacBook, it's about how all these devices work together so seamlessly that switching to anything else feels like a downgrade. In this video, we'll uncover the ingenious ways Apple keeps you hooked, from exclusive features to seamless integrations. Breaking free from Apple's ecosystem is a lot harder than you think, and by the end of this video, you'll know why millions of people find themselves happily trapped. Let's get right into it. Having an iPhone or an iPad doesn't mean you automatically get ensnared in Apple's trap, but start to combine the two and you have yourself fallen for step one of Apple's trap, and that is providing an undeniably seamless experience. Apple has mastered the seamlessness of switching between your devices, and they have developed a range of ecosystem exclusive features such as handoff, AirDrop, continuity, and universal clipboards that work across your Apple devices that are there without you even thinking about it. When you get an iPhone, you have to set up an Apple ID. At first, this seems like nothing special. We have accounts for everything, right? Well, you're correct. But the Apple ID acts as a central account for all of your Apple devices. And on top of that, Apple services such as the App Store, Apple Music, iCloud, and more. If you ever decided to switch, that would mean that you're losing access to purchased apps, media, and subscriptions that you've tied to that Apple ID. It's another step of soft friction as such that reminds you just how good it is in the ecosystem, and imagine all that hassle you'd have to go through trying to switch. Yeah, never mind. Next, let's talk about exclusive services and features. Apple doesn't just sell you devices, they sell you a lifestyle. Think about iMessage and FaceTime. These aren't just apps, they are integral parts of how many people communicate daily. The ease of sending messages and making video calls within the Apple ecosystem is so seamless that moving to a different platform feels like a significant downgrade. You then have to convince all your contacts that are still on Apple devices to use alternative apps, and let's be real, that's not going to happen. And it's not just about messaging. Apple's ecosystem includes iCloud, which syncs your photos, documents, app data, and more across all of your devices. This makes switching to another ecosystem without losing that data continuity a real challenge. Your entire digital life is backed up and seamlessly integrated across all of your Apple devices. Who wants to deal with the hassle of transferring all of that manually? They also build in some really clever upselling within iCloud that you've probably seen if you've owned any Apple device. They give you a small allowance to kind of upload your documents and your photos, but once you reach that allowance, it will constantly ping you that your iCloud is out of storage, to the point where people just buy more to get rid of the notification. Then there's the App Store. On iOS, you're restricted to the Apple App Store for downloading apps. This monopoly as such ensures that all apps meet Apple's strict guidelines, which as a user is great for security and quality control, but it also means that Apple takes a cut of all the app sales and in-app purchases. This controlled environment makes it harder for users to switch, as they would have to repurchase many apps and lose access to those exclusive apps that are only available on iOS. Let's not also forget about Apple's proprietary accessories and standards. The Lightning connector, for instance, is unique to Apple devices. While the rest of the tech world is moving towards USB-C, Apple still sticking with the Lightning for its iPhone and iPads, forcing users to buy specific cables and accessories. And I know this is slightly changing now, especially in Europe with the EU mandate where everything needs to be USB-C. But in a lot of other countries, Apple are still manufacturing the Lightning port, basically until they don't have to anymore. And what about AirPods? Sure, you can use them with non-Apple devices, but have you actually tried? They do work, but you're limiting a lot of the features and controls because you don't have the back end built into iOS on your Samsung device, for example, or if you're connecting them to a laptop, so you really can't make the most of those devices. They're designed to work best within the Apple ecosystem, offering features like instant pairing and automatically switching between devices. Speaking of devices, Apple's hardware and software integration is second to none. This means that updates are timely and consistent across Apple devices, enhancing security and user experience. In other ecosystems, you often see fragmented hardware and software, leading to delayed updates and security risks. Apple's control over both aspects ensures a smooth and secure experience. Another reason why users find it difficult to leave. Brand loyalty and perception also plays a huge role. Apple has cultivated a premium brand image that makes users feel like they're part of some sort of exclusive club. The Apple Trade-in program encourages users to stay within the ecosystem by offering discounts on new Apple products in exchange for their old ones. This not only keeps users from switching, but it also makes them feel like they're getting a good deal by staying loyal to Apple. Usually the buyback isn't fantastic, but if you look at other manufacturers of products, a lot of them don't offer this service. So again, it's just another way to keep people tied into the next phone or the next device. Apple's financial services such as Apple Card and Apple Pay further integrate users into their ecosystem. These services are designed to work seamlessly with Apple devices, offering convenience and benefits that are hard to give up once you're used to them. Personally, I have all my cards on my phone. Oftentimes I'm out, I don't even take a wallet with me. If you have an Apple Watch, you can also have your card on the watch and you can simply tap your watch if you're at a store or whatever. It's that seamless that a lot of companies still haven't cracked it, in my opinion. Finally, let's talk about repair and maintenance. Apple's control over repair services through authorized providers and the restriction on third-party repairs make it easier and often cheaper to maintain Apple devices within the ecosystem. You know that if something goes wrong, you can take it to an Apple store and get it fixed without any hassle. This peace of mind is another subtle way Apple keeps you locked in. So as you can see, Apple's ecosystem is a carefully crafted environment that offers incredible convenience, integration and features. But this convenience comes at the cost of flexibility, creating significant barriers to leaving. The more devices and services you add to your Apple collection, the harder it becomes to escape. And I'm afraid that's likely what's happened to me. If you've watched any of the videos on the channel, you know that I'm kind of heavily invested in Apple products, and it's safe to say that I'm one of those that's happily trapped within the Apple ecosystem. In conclusion, Apple's walled garden is not just impressive, it's ingeniously designed to keep you within its bounds. From seamless integration, exclusive features, proprietary accessories, and brand loyalty, Apple has mastered the art of keeping users happily trapped in the ecosystem. And honestly, with all the benefit it offers, it's easy to see why so many choose to stay. With all of this said, if you're like me and like Apple products, you might enjoy one of my other videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.